Right. What's up? It's your girl Suga-T hitting you with the ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm hanging out right here with DJ K1 on the mixtape show. You know what it is. Let's get it.
All right, welcome back to the Mixtape Show, and it is time for the Applied Knowledge Artist of the Week interview. And this week, man, we have a very, very, very special guest. I'm honored and pleasure, and it's a pleasure to have her here on the show. She is one of the matriarchs of hip hop. She is author, producer, entrepreneur, helped write the blueprint for independence here in hip hop game, and just an honor to have her in the game. And on the show this week, we have Miss Suga-T joining us, and everybody knows who you are. So how are you doing this afternoon?
I'm cool. How you doing?
I'm good. First of all, I know you guys are dealing with the forest fires and stuff out there, and COVID and everything else going on in the world right now. Everything good? Family's good? Everybody's healthy, safe?
Yeah, everybody so far so good.
So far so good. All right. We're gonna get into what you got going on now, but I like to definitely kind of start back to what got us here, and how you're one of the architects and why I'm here, with my platform with independence and teaching independence, and just kind of following the blueprint which you guys started back, back in the day. You guys were kind of the first generation of that, where it was out there in the forefront about independence and kind of pushing your own product musically and believing in yourselves. Take me back to that when you guys started that. How did that feel when you guys were going through that with, E40 and the Click and Sick With It Records and everything?
Yeah, so as the first, we were one of the first we were the first trappers.
Mm-hmm.
The first trap music. I thought about that not too long ago. I was like, wow, we were actually the first trappers.
Mm-hmm.
I was one of the first. I was the first trapping female.
Yeah.
And so it was cool, to move into various elements of, of opportunity, and and to see it after over 30 years, still today being here. I didn't think that it would go this far. I was young to see that far.
Yeah. And I actually grew up in New York around that time. And I remember, so of course I was a little, jaded as far as the music, and I couldn't see past New York music and all that stuff. But I know when Sprinkle Me came out and seeing you on there holding your own on that track, and I was just like, wow, it's just like the West Coast got a lot to offer out there. And I just remember me and my friends just kind of sitting there watching the videos and listening to the songs. And that's when I started getting educated on what you guys were doing. And I was just amazed on, the independence and all that stuff. And I just want to say thank you for that. Thank you for you guys kind of setting that blueprint in motion for a lot of artists and platforms for going the independent route. Because it's a little bit more work, but it's a whole lot more rewarding at the end of the day.
Yeah, definitely. And we definitely, Sprinkle Me was actually a little more commercial. That's when we became commercial.
Mm-hmm.
We had a whole bunch of underground hits outside of Sprinkle Me, that and still managed to go gold.
Mm-hmm.
We called it ghetto gold.
Yeah.
Without any radio play, without no internet.
Uh-huh.
And, was able to hold down the fort, just moving around where we had to show up. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I say hip hop matriarch, what does that mean to you when you hear that? When you hear that with your name behind that?
Well, from so many different levels, you got the different types of female representation, and so I feel that that's the one that I hold the title of.
Yeah.
So, holding the title of, been there with the kitty games and the kitty stuff and the, the limited messages, the hey everybody look at my body, been there, been to the trap house, many times, been through, but I just, rounded it out to being game related, just an educator, a teacher, a game at the end of the day, and the survival of the fittest, from so many different layers. So when I say matriarch, I mean, I raised a couple of generations in the hip hop generation, grandparenting 6 today. And then, I've raised in the last over 3 generations, I've been a parent. And so, and still being able to be here today and representing, I hold the title, and then from so many different levels, not just, from the angle of parenting, but, I'm educated. I'm an educated boss. I own an enterprise. I've reached many layers of you know, of different types of enterprise endeavors, and the majority of them is matriarch moves, you know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you know, making sure everybody cool. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
just leaving that legacy outside of the music and the business in general. That's definitely dope. So let's talk about some of those business moves that you got. We got the fragrance line. What's the name of that you have?
yeah. So in 2006, we started the Sprinkle Me Fragrance and More, and so it's a variety, you know, online retail at sprinkleme.biz, and then we do wholesale, we produce, and we do retail online as well as retail in the stores. And then, of course, we produce product lines for ourselves as well as others.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a special division set out to for economic empowerment and the wellness of women.
Yeah.
And yeah, and so we had a nice little non-traditional fragrance and more company, and it's under the Sprinkle Me Social Enterprise.
So, and besides smelling good, we know we gotta take care of our bodies physically, and you have that workout program as well.
Yes, indeed. We definitely are giving away a free coupon right now with one of our latest products, which is called Work. You know,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we don't have everything we need, so we got to
Yeah.
do what you got till we get to what you're trying to get to, and whatever it is, work it. So we got the His and Her fragrance, work it for men, and work it for women. Two separate ones. We believe in taking care of the women, but we also believe in taking care of our fellas too.
Yeah.
And so when they purchase the product, we give a free online health as wealth platform, you know, to try to encourage well-rounded health and wellness, beauty, you know, not just for the looks, but also, you know, inside and out.
And with the health thing, has that been a little bit more difficult, or is it easier for you to kind of get that message across and people kind of buying into that? Because we just recently lost a brother Chadwick, for the Black Panther fans, and due to cancer, and cancer you can't prevent it from coming, but you can screen for it and stuff like that. And then the word is that maybe he didn't get his screening early enough and stuff like that. And just in our community, how it is growing up. My grandparents, they didn't go to the doctor unless they was literally felt like they was going to die. You know what I
Right.
mean? So with
Uh,
with you doing the health campaign, is it hard for people to buy into it, or it's a little bit easier?
well, just I sprinkle it from different layers of health, you know, and I think people will eventually get it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a work it health is wealth work platform, you can work out and dance, you know, making it more fun, and then making it more well-rounded inside of it, you know, to get meals. When we explain it to them, I think they get it more. And
Yeah.
that's kind of why we're giving it out as free, as well as just as a gift to get people used to it, and they could continue on with it, or they could stop it. So it's interesting because, yes, you're right. A lot of times there's so many things that make us unhealthy today that's being pushed constantly.
Mm-hmm.
And so, trying to get it across to people, you almost got to live it. I figure if they see me more and they see that I'm 50 years old and look like I'm 30, and, I'm healthy, and, and I try to put myself in a position to make healthy moves, then they'll eventually get it, as if I continue to stay consistent. And it's a way to help discipline me too, in terms
Mm-hmm.
of continuing to do that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so some get it, some don't,
Yeah. Yeah.
and we're gonna turn it up a notch though.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
So how's it been for you? Like you said, you've raised generations and generations of women and hip hop heads, and just the culture in general. How's that been for you? Kind of sitting back, or have you had that moment, sit back and kind of watch it, and just kind of, have you had your wow moment yet? Like, wow, I can't believe this little idea we had has affected so many people.
That's a good question. My wow is I can't believe I'm still alive. They didn't
Okay.
almost throw me nuts. Never got a chance to escape reality.
Yeah.
People didn't escape reality today. They on some other stuff. They on a
Yeah.
different planet, and
Yeah.
I never got to escape the planet. So,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, maybe that's the reason why. Is because I never escaped the planet.
Mhm.
So my wow moment is just being woke,
Yeah.
being alive, being woke. And I think more than ever, people are appreciating people like myself. At one point, when it comes down to a wow moment, my wow wasn't somebody else's wow. My wow was, wow, I get it, and I want to share. But that was my wow, my total wow.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, people wasn't up to that wow yet. They hadn't matured to my wow yet. So I've had, happy moments and sad moments of my wow moments. You know what I mean? And I think people are finally catching up now a little bit. They're waking up, but I got a lot of bruises along the way from people not being woke and, not really able to celebrate that wow moment. And those who did were people that I did not expect, to celebrate, that appreciated it. So
yeah,
it's a love hate relation. It's a good bad. You get the good, the bad, and the ugly.
exactly.
Wow.
And especially in this industry and with our culture in general, it seems like that they want to put a time clock on your career. Like you said, when you hit a certain age or you hit a certain number of albums, it's kind of like throw the water away with the baby, kind of thing. And especially with you being a female MC and an artist, how does that make you feel? Like it's kind of like it's sad and it sucks because none of the other cultures do that. None of the other music genres do that. It's just our specific genre that when you hit a certain age, it's kind of like you can't make relevant music anymore.
Right. Well, that's interesting. It's an interesting point because it's so much. We could talk about this for 2 days easily, probably 2 weeks. But to try to cut it short, I think that if for me, I might not have been affected as much if I continued to uh, keep the same message, you know, the same message for all these years.
Mm-hmm.
Being the first generation trapper, it's old to me.
Yeah.
The trap music they doing is like, okay, come on, y'all, for real.
Yeah.
Talk about something else. So,
yeah.
If I would have stayed on that same message, I would be right, with them A-list, turning up, getting high, kicking it, wilding out, and I might not even be here today, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure how long they're going to last doing that.
Exactly.
So, you feel me? So it was my choice, to, so I put myself in a position because I'm not a follower, I'm a leader. You know what I'm saying? And in a real leader, a healthy leader, the leader that wants to lead people to safety.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not to foolishness, and at the end of the day, if you like that, it does affect you, to a certain point, because again, like earlier when we said, what we talked about is that wow moment, they didn't celebrate that wow moment with me. Like, wow, I get it. I see this, that, the third, or, this has to be a certain way because this later, I see the future, that kind of thing. And from so many different ways, they didn't celebrate that wow moment with me.
Yeah.
And so that's how I was affected. And survival wise, thank God that, I did have other layers to work with, and I did have a mentality of a boss, and able to sustain, because it's pretty disappointing, the behavior from a lot of these fellas that you think was going to wow and mature with you. And they fell into the bag as well. But yet they try to keep a standard. So I think we kind of are in a place where everyone follows the flock.
Yeah.
And I think we helped edge this on, by just going along with the program.
Yeah.
So people are just programmed, you know what I'm saying? And it's kind of sickening and sad. And so that's the part that I'm just really hoping that people can stand up and get their own mind, and deprogram. So that's a long conversation.
No, it's okay.
I'm saving that for the right moment.
definitely.
But you get me, right?
Yeah. I would love to be in the room for that conversation, because I can't remember who it was. I can't remember which artist it was, but they were saying how they progressed throughout their career with their music, and it says certain fans are just stuck from the debut album, and that's what they want every time they come out as that debut album. They're like, I don't live that lifestyle. I don't see that anymore. And like you were saying earlier, I got business ventures now, so my mind and my eyes have been opened up to these new things, so I can talk about those things. And we can't get stuck in the past. So it's just, like you said, it's sad to see that people want you to stay in that negative space that when you initially came out, and there's no growth behind it.
Exactly. And a lot of that definitely comes from the media that help push our music. They tend to want you to stay in that box too.
Yeah.
They put you in that box.
Yeah.
So, I can't, it's, you can't, sometimes you can't pay people to play your new music, but they'll stick you in that same song for all them years. And that's all the fans have heard. And that's what conditions them to want you to stay in that box.
Yeah.
If they was to, put it together, because some artists actually was able to put it together. Because I don't think it's nothing wrong with, with definitely rocking. Because I always do my old songs, Matter of fact, my brother told me, don't you ever get on stage and don't do none of your old hits. Platinum to golds, tripping,
Yeah.
So that was the one thing he told me that made sense in terms of, outside of other things that we don't always agree on.
Yeah.
And when he told me that, it made sense. And so we don't mind doing that, but when we make new music, I have 20 albums, you know what I'm saying? And, and the industry has changed so much over the years. Sometimes there's different reasons why that happens. I think sometimes it's because somebody come back with something that's not as strong. It's not as strong of a product or project. Sometimes it's totally opposite of what, others might think in terms of media, the people to push it. Sometimes it may not be paid into the system. So, you got to pay to play.
Yeah.
And it's not paid into the system, where people got to collect royalties and different things that they got to get from that, play. And so are grandfathered into the system. It's different now to be how they grandfather you in. And then sometimes it might be because of the just because they want to box you in, because you have different new media now. You have a younger generation that don't respect the older artists at all.
Yeah.
And so they want, to keep you boxed in so they can put all the new people and make sure that they run in front of you.
Yeah. I get it. No, I get it.
That's a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah, no, it is. It's true. And it's interesting too, because we had I had Yo-Yo on a couple months ago. She was one of my guests, and then maybe a couple weeks after that, I was talking to another artist, and I was telling him, "Oh, I had Yo-Yo on there." He just kind of looked at me like, who? And I just was like, I wanted to cut the interview off right there. Like, we're done here. Respect your elders,
Yeah. It's kind of interesting. They don't have no respect and no appreciation.
Yeah.
And their ultimate goal is to knock us out the box.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna let them knock me out the box.
I hear you. I was about to say, well, fortunately, we're the type of program that, like I said, we like to give roses to the legends, and we like to give props to the legends in the making. So you always got a home here in the mixtape show, and regardless of what it is, whether you want to talk about writing these books or anything, definitely come back and talk to us about anything, because we definitely love to, have these conversations with you and stuff like that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. So did you get my new single, Work It?
I do have it. We're gonna play that. We're gonna debut that here in just a minute. And the album, what's the name of the album that's gonna be on?
Rapidemic. Yeah, the Rapidemic.
And Rapidemic. Well, what is that title? What does that mean as far as what does that embody?
You know what? It's a conversation that gets people up to speed of where I'm at, where I've been, and how I have my experience through this whole element of the 35-year run, and it also is an outlet for those who want to hear something different besides sex, money, alcohol, drugs, violence, and stripping.
Say it again.
Okay. So it's another option.
Yeah.
Outside of that world. So if you want to lead up, if they want to game up, you know what I mean? If they want to turn up by getting their game up, real game that's going to really get you somewhere, that, you could come over and have a place that's not going to stagnate your mind, and it's still slamming, it's still banging, it's still raw, uncut, but it's just on a leadership level and a whole different iconic movement, from the originator of trap.
There you go.
That's what will be exciting about the Rapidemic.
Nice. I just love how like I said, 35 years in this industry is that's a tough run. You know what I mean? Ups and downs. And this is the type of industry that it can break you, just because it's so many snakes and so many people pulling at you because they want something. They don't want to give back to it. And I love how you're giving back. No matter everything that you're doing, you're still finding ways to give back to the community and to the culture. So that's definitely dope to see.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
So
And
so when is Suga-T gonna open up that music school for artists who need that help?
well, they can go to my school. I actually have a school. It's called Sprinkle Me School of Music.
Okay.
Envision. So if they go to my website, they can lock in and get and enroll. It's
What's
called
what's the website?
Suga-T. And actually, the Health is Wealth platform is held in my school.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So that's it.
That's
Yeah, that's
dope.
what it is. And I don't just stop there by music and entertainment. I think that there's plenty of that. It's just oversaturated. I think people are just really they shorten themselves by just constantly chasing the same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
I think they need to be a little more rounded. So
Exactly.
I try to provide a little bit more than music in the school. That's why I sprinkle my school of music and vision. But
Yeah.
because I'm a music master, music is a part of it. However, we have, professional development classes. We have boss up entrepreneurship. We have different types of programs around like police brutality and learning about how to conduct yourself with the police, as well as how to be safe, hood safety classes. So we have a variety. We have your perfume and women empowerment class. We have, job readiness. So we have a variety of layers of different type of materials, anywhere from cooking a sweet potato pie, you know what I'm saying, to banging out a hit song. So they get a
Nice.
lot out of it. Yeah.
Nice. Well, I definitely want to help my part. I can get with you, you and the team afterwards, and if we can get out that information, we can put it on our station's website to help promote that, and our social media too, to definitely spread that information and promote that for you.
That'll be great. I'll give you my commercial.
Okay. Oh, that's even better. That's even better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoot that commercial to us, and we'll load that up, and we'll take care of you guys.
For sure.
No.
Same time.
All right. Anybody want to shout out before we get out of here?
I just want to shout out everybody who woke, and those who are not, wake up.
Wake up! It's 2020. It's time to wake up right now.
Gotta get it intact, and that's what it is. So, and I want to shout out Dallas, Texas, and the mixtape show, everyone who got enough sense to listen to me.
There you go. I definitely appreciate this, and it's I'm very happy that this is better than I expected. You know what I mean? Just because they always say don't meet the people that you admire, because they may not be who you think they are. And I can definitely say that it's been a fun conversation, and definitely want to have you back on next time. Whenever you got anything going on, come back and let's have this conversation. And we do a lot of traveling here with the show, as far as going out there to get interviews too. Due to COVID, that got shut down this year, but next year, whenever we do our little tour again, we definitely want to maybe link up and meet somewhere and then do this again.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much. I look forward to connecting more.
Definitely. So tell us the name of that album one more time, so before we get into the single.
Yes, for sure. The single is Work. The name of the album is Rapidemic. You can go and find it in digital outlets right now. We will be conducting our official release by the end of the month. Truth Rapidemic. The single is called Work. You can follow me at Suga-T, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. And definitely go to my website and learn all about the enterprise moves and get up to speed. Suga-T. And remember, the Rapidemic. Yay!
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The legend herself, Suga-T, joined us here in the Mixtape Show. Honor to have you, ma'am. Thank you for coming on. And we got your back. Just let us know whatever you need us to do, and we got you, okay?
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, let's get into this, and we'll be right back.